All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two powerhouse institutions on YouTube, giving you nothing but Black Power, Black Divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member. Link for the memberships right down in the chat. All you had to do, just click it. Boop. You get an introduction, video rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website up on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption, a definitive Black manhood designed by the General just for the brothers. You can preview the curriculum. You can preview the program. All you had to do is click the link right down in the chat. Also included the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable, where the brothers sit down once a week discussing very vital, very important, very pertinent information that's critical to our growth. I want you to get over there, become a member today, become a brother today, and preview the curriculum. That's right. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official, General Sarasun Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. Got something for your family. Get over there, check out that catalog, get a discount, shop and save, and shop. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love from the General. Old Mecca voyages of the Nile, when Kemet ruled the earth, Nubia, mother of ancient Egypt. We got Black Babylon, African origins of Mesopotamia, from nigger to Naga, African origins of Naga to nigger, or African origins of the Hindu Kush. That's right. We got Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Gnosticism, Kabbalism, Sufism, all the isms. We got them locked down. Freemasonry, hip hop, occult, Black woman is God, the making of the white man, and so much, much more. Not another website nowhere on the planet that could compare or compete. You should become a member today. And everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon. Link is at the top of the chat. You need to click it. Over 500 exclusive live streams only to be viewed on Patreon. And you know is most definitely advanced teachers for the family. We got a hell of a lineup that's gonna blow the mind. Get over there, become a patron, and you can thank me later. To all the family out there that donated to the General, I appreciate you. You know I do. Those would like to donate. The link is right there in the chat. Click it, donate. Thank you very much. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Now, we talking about some real crazy shit today, family. You see, we talking about what they call a doppelganger. You see, a doppelganger, which is some type of a clone, and not even a clone. Damn it! Biologically, it has none of your biological makeup, but it looked just like you. And a lot of people believe that it's very well a spirit that has arisen, that have taken your form out there. Now, this is crazy now. You see, you might come around the corner, might see your goddamn self, and you be in a goddamn state of shock. But this is actually a German word. But, if you saw the movie Us, you see what I'm saying? Which is a crazy goddamn movie. That's a crazy goddamn movie. I was saying to myself that I was going to look at it again. But as I began to get into the study of this jinn shit, you know what I'm saying? And even though it says that it's German, knowing the root of the jinn, the etymology of jinn, Naga, and all of the divine expression and etymology of many of these serpentine beings, that even within Doppelganger, Ganger is an aspect of the jinn. You see, when you get GAN, you see which is we'll get off into it, which is a prefix, one of the prefix, which is Jan. That's exactly what it is. You just use the G. So it is an aspect of the jinn, and we're gonna get off into that. Now, a lot of people, when we get the understanding of the jinn or Naga or any of that, we get the expression from the outside. That's just like when we talk about the Naga. And most people when they think about the Naga, they think about something from ancient India. What we know of as the Naga, which is sometimes the Naga can take the image of half human, half serpent. You see, sometimes they could just become full serpent. You see, and sometimes they can even take the full, representation of a man or a woman. So they can metamorphosize into any one of those. And many believe that they could become animals and things of this nature. That's why you see, when they say you get to hearing dogs barking at night and shit and this, that, and the third. A lot of people say at some time they may see jinn or things of that nature. Now, a lot of people don't, they don't want to believe. You see, but you got a whole lot of madness in this world. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't have no consciousness of what may be the root cause of some of it, maybe not all, but some of it, then it can exist right around you and can influence you in many ways that you're not even aware of. You see, I got a short little clip I'm gonna show about this doppelganger. Okay, and it's all about danger. Now, it's crazy. When I was looking at this movie, they would come outside and shit, and a whole goddamn family, you see what I'm saying, would look just like them, was outside the goddamn house. And eventually, I don't know what the root was. They trying to remove the family? I believe they were trying to take their place. You see what I'm saying? In the world, you know what I'm saying? Trying to and lock their ass down in it's almost like Gehenna. You see what I'm saying? Gehenna, which is Jewish, I believe the Jewish hell where you lock down in Gehenna. And so somehow they got up out of that, but and was able to roam the earth. But you got to understand that a lot of this is allegorical in a lot of sense. Maybe this doppelganger is only an aspect of oneself. You see what I'm saying? We had to look deeper into it. But I know the root of it is, you see, the jinn is also there. Now, how do I know that when we talk about doppelganger, how do I know that the jinn, the etymology of this, even though it's European, that particular aspect of it, I believe, is German. You see, but I know that they didn't took from somewhere else. Now, let's drop this real quick, because I'm gonna give you so that you know that we're not playing no games, and you can go behind me at any given time and you can do your research. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, when I got a video up here where I talk about that the jinn is etymologically, let me get it correct because I'm going fast. Etymologically is an aspect of nigger. Naga, I can prove that. Okay. How can I prove it? Okay. When you talk about jinn, now you got jinn. Now, some people spell it with the J. Okay. Jinn. You see, jinn. Okay, some people spell it with the G. That's why you get genie. You spell the genie with the G, and you spell it Gen. So you see that it could be Jin, it could be Gen. Okay, and it could also be Gin. It could be also Gin. That's understanding the vowels are interchangeable. But a lot of these, especially these ancient scripts, they don't have vowels. And so you add the vowels at your discretion interchangeably. You see? So when you flip a word, you can flip a word, or you can rearrange letters in a word to create another word. Usually, you know, a lot of times you use the same letters that, you know, even though you rearranging them, you're using the same letters. You don't change the letters unless, again, it's one of those interchangeable vowels. So when you take gin, you see Gin, and you flip it, it becomes nig, N-I-G. You see what I'm saying? Which is the prefix of nigger. Okay, when you take uh gin or neg, even neg, where you use where they say nigga, N-E-G. You see, Senegal. When you flip it, it becomes Jen, Jen. And you could do that. And sometimes a lot of people use that as a codification. You see what I'm saying? To hide certain words, you see, and the understanding of certain words. So, you know, that it, you know, unless somebody gives you the key, it remains hidden. It remains a mystery. You see? And so now what I'm doing is I'm taking the variations of nigger, N-I-G, N-E-G, N-A-G. Now, when you flip N-A-G, you get John, J-A-N, which is actually in Doppelgänger. You see, and John, G-A-N is also J-A-N-N, which is an aspect of gene. When you look it up, it's like 7 different types of gin, and one of those types is John, J-A-N-N. So, I had to break this down to you, and you can go behind me and do it for yourself. Okay. And so Janus, January is also an aspect of one of these, what we call John or Genie or Jinn, which is another aspect of Naga, Many times the jinn is shown to be spiritual. They're not supposed to be seen. And we're gonna get into that because the definition of a jinn is to conceal or to be hidden, which is actually same definition of the god Amen. See, but we're gonna get off into it. You see, which is the same as the aspect of Amen, not to be seen. So most of the time when they show a jinn, they still serpentine, look no different than a Naga. A Naga is flesh, though. They're not spirits, they're flesh. And the jinn is smoke, but they still serpentine. It's still from the serpentine energy. We're going to get off into that because in the ancient African mystery system, I can show, and I've shown you this, that the first instance of a Naga to be seen in human history is from the Nile Valley. You see what I'm saying? So even before the Indians were showing Nagas and this, they were already present in the Egyptian mystery system, flooded throughout the Egyptian mystery system. You see, so understand that the ancient Kushites in India got it from the Nile Valley, and they called it the Kundalini, or you understand what I'm saying? And they call it the Naga and this, that, and the third, and a lot of it, quote, listen to me, is diluted. You have to go because many times the Nile Valley do not explain this, have the same definitions that they have in India. They get a little strange over there. You see what I'm saying? They get to doing a lot of crazy shit that Africans don't do. And I'm just saying, and just being 100. Now, the original Kushites had the same understanding, but the system as it exists today is diluted, period. You see? And because, we have different understandings about that because a lot of them don't possess the full mechanisms of the African spirituality, and that including that coily hair. You see what I'm saying? Which is an aspect of that serpentine energy. They don't have that. So this is where you get the Medusas and what they call the Nazarites and the Sufis, which Suf is wool and shit. So that's these are all esoterical terms that are identifying these African mystics that they identify with the serpent. The Druid is also one of those. Look it up. The Druid's also one of those mystical systems that was identified by the serpent. And so, in Egypt, above all, and throughout Africa, they show this serpent on the pineal gland. And it's very significant because, when you look at science, you see that, energy, solar energy or any kind of energy is that, for that matter, is depicted in serpentine symbolisms. So they was and when you look at the sun, you see the serpents that are attached to the sun, which they call the Badetti. You will see two serpents connected to the sun. So you see that the serpent is a solar zoo type. In many instances, is looked at as solar energy, and that's why you see the serpent that sits on the pineal gland. You don't see that. You see what I'm saying? In India, they just put a dot right there. They don't put that serpent. That serpent is something different. You see what I'm saying? And they show it before anybody. They show, many of those African crowns. You will see the serpent coming from the back. You see back there what they call it, the cerebellum. You understand? And you go into the X-Man, and what's that shit that Professor Xavier put on? It's called the cerebellum, the zebra. I forget what he had to put that shit on where he can, magnify his telekinesis and shit and whatever. But in the back, but them crowns, some of the, especially that Nubian, but it's some Egyptians too, where they show the serpent go all the way to the back, and even when you see, and I'm going to show you where that one statue of Khafra, and you see that, you will see he got the serpent on the front of, right there on the pineal, but in the back right there, you see that hawk, that Heru hawk sitting right there on the back. Right there where his cerebellum is. So, we got a more profound, because we the primordial now. We the primordial. None of this existed before us. Everything else is a diluted manifestation, of what the primordial Africans had established. And it took them hundreds of thousands of years to establish that, you see. And so I had to lay that down, that even though we look at the jinn and we look at the Naga, and a lot of people think, and that that's somehow a perversion, that we are extending ourselves onto something that, that's the Hindu and that's the Arab. They didn't have none of that. Everything that they got is a pleasurization of something that we had already established. So I had to let y'all know that. And as we move forward, I'm gonna get up on this, and get the etymologies up there so you can see. Also, another thing, when we talk about this, when we say the jinn, we say Naga. In the root of jinn, Gen, which you get genie, is not gene, is Genesis, is genius. And in the ancient Greek and Roman, the genius is more of what they call like a guardian spirit that comes with the soul when you born onto the planet. So you have to look this up. This is the root of genie. This is the root of genie. They don't tell people that. It's something on the inside of you. And I have to study, like, you got the Ka, you got the Ba, and you have the other one, the Ka, the Ba, and it's the other one. It's called the I forget the third one. I know somebody gonna throw it in there, but it's actually three. You see? Yeah, okay, I'm back and I got you in there. Yeah. You say, I see right there, 600. You say, you confused me now, Ray, because Medusa always depicted as white. let me cut in there. Well, you got to understand that again, when you looking at today, a lot of people, when you look at the Greeks, the original Greeks are African. You see, when you look at the Greek, when you start talking about Medusa, Medusa was a part of the Titans. The Titans existed before the gods. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the Titans existed before the gods. See, if y'all get to seeing white shit, y'all already know. Y'all out of y'all in the diluted. Y'all in the diluted. You see what I'm saying? You done roamed off into the genetics also is in the root of gene. You in the diluted. You see, when you start talking about, that's why when they talk about Typhon, and which is also a Naga, when you look up Typhon, you will see that he's also a Naga. He was depicted in serpentine form, just like Medusa. But see, you know, when you look at the locks, you know, the serpents, and those are the aspects of the locks, and not only the locks, the coily hair. You see, you got, so if you depict, and if you look at Medusa, and obviously you've been looking at some European created Medusas. When you look at Medusa in the original form that you see on the Greek vases, you will see that her tongue is sticking out, and she looked just like Bess. That's what she looked like. And when you go into Mesopotamia, it's the same face as one of them. I forget that Mesopotamian god. It's another Mesopotamian, one of the originals. You see, Anu, one of them, look just like Bess. So when you look at the Gorgon in the Greek, the Gorgon, which is Medusa, is depicted with the face of Bess. Look that up now. Look that up. Look that up. So this is what we discussing here. So also again, genetics. That's right, gene genetics, and that's how when you look at gene and you deal with DNA, you see the DNA is always shown with the helix, which is the intertwining serpents. So again, it relates back to the gene. It relates back to the gene. That's what it is. So yeah, just look it up. Yeah, six hustles. Just look it up. Look up Medusa. Look up Gore, and make sure. And if you know what Bess looked like, you look up God Bess. You'll see him with the tongue sticking out, and then look up Medusa, and you will see it's the same face. You see what I'm saying? So that show and prove that we know exactly what we're talking about. You see? But let me put this in here. Eugene, that's still that's a root. Yes, indeed. Eugenics. You see, eugenics is also rooted in that. Yes, indeed. Anything dealing with the gene is rooted in gene, which is genie, which is genius, Genesis, because they were looked at. The dragon was looked at as one of the creator spirits. You know what I'm saying? It was looked at as one of the primordial creator deities, and throughout many of these ancient civilizations. Quetzalcoatl down in Mexico, you see, Quetzalcoatl down in Mexico. But anyway, let me get this quick video in here. Put this up here, man. This is some crazy shit I got. Let me see, is this it? Let me see. That ain't it. Let me see, is this it? This might be it right here. I think it is. Yeah, this it right here. Let me put it in here. Here we go, family. Nah, it was crazy. She supposed to be texting her mama.
Mom?
That's supposed to be her mama now.
Hey, sweetie.
You're home early. I thought you weren't supposed to be back till next week.
Now I said, now her mama supposed to be out of town, right? Supposed to be out of town. Now she in the goddamn house. You know, and she talking about, man, I thought you supposed to be at home next week. But she up in the house. Now, anytime you see the motherfucker way off in the other goddamn room and shit, trying to stay out the light and shit and this, that, and the third, yeah, you got to start like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh,
Is everything okay?
yes. Everything is fine.
Now, what's crazy, right? She looking down. That's her mama calling her on the damn phone now. Now, you know, that's her mama calling on the phone. Oh, hell no.
Hey, sweetie. How's it going? Sorry I missed your call. You look like you've seen a ghost, girl. What's going on? Sweetie? Baby, what's going on, sweetie? What's going on with you? Sweetie?
Oh, hell no. That's fucked up right there. You know what I'm saying? So that in actuality, so that's what you know what they call a doppelganger. You see, which is in essence, like I say, in the root of that is, but see, the thing is, you got to understand that a lot of mythology have cropped up around, these etymologies and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to get off into it because a lot of it could be esoterical, which I assume that it is. Because if a motherfucker and they calling me and I see a motherfucker calling me and the same motherfucker in the room, it's going down. You see what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no more. Ain't gonna be no more. What's going on? We throwing down. You see? So yeah, y'all better. So if a motherfucker to say they seen you some goddamn well, and you know you ain't been there, you might got a gin that then kidnap your goddamn your face, nigga, and walk going around town kidnapping motherfuckers and goddamn it, possessing motherfuckers and shit like that. So I'm gonna tell y'all, stay strong in your, stay strong now in your spirituality. You see, don't go astray. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't go astray because there's a lot of crazy shit going on up out here. But anyway, family, we're going to touch on this even deeper because, like I say, when I went to studying the gin, that this came up, that they got doppelgangers out here and they have no biological relationship whatsoever. And in this instance, they're not even biological. You see, this is crazy. Now they not even biological. So, hey, if motherfucker ain't supposed, and motherfucker ain't supposed to be there, and they somewhere else, and they just happen to pop up. God damn it, you better not open the goddamn door. You better call the nearest shaman. God damn it, whoever can come in and get you some goddamn some Florida water and goddamn it, hook it up to a goddamn water hose and spray the shit out that motherfucker. Do something. Because your ass gonna need some help, family. Believe that. All right. You said you gotta watch something. I always do. I always do. When I watch something crazy, I say the same shit, man. I watch something crazy. I always say, man, I'll go put on some goddamn tethers, and that could be that's another aspect of it. The spiritual tethers. Yeah, it's just spiritual tethers. All right, family. I get right black with you. We got some more we gonna touch on. Don't you go nowhere. Get on over there to Patreon. You know, I most definitely got more visuals on Patreon. That's what it's for. And to the family out there that's on the membership, we're going to step it up. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be able to go over there and get a lot more. I have it. Yeah, sometimes I had to, if I watch a goddamn horror movie, I'll put on some goddamn cartoons out, and watch them and shit just to settle my damn spirit. You feel me? All right, family. This is General Cyrus saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Hit that subscribe button. Don't get up off here. Go over to the other page. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll be right black. Black power.